We are 161 days out from the election, and Joe Biden wants you to know that he will beat Joe Biden.
I'm prepared to say that I have a record of over 40 years and that I'm going to beat Joe Biden.
Biden has set himself up for disaster. He is clearly an old-school racist from a bygone era. His latest statements have created a never-ending storm of criticism.
Do you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump and you ain't black?
That is the most arrogant, condescending comment I've heard in a very long time. 1.3 million African Americans voted for Trump. He's saying to 1.3 million African Americans that you're not black?
It was precisely the kind of thing that a lot of Democrats are worried about Biden doing again and again on the campaign trail.
I've been fighting against this notion that you're not black enough unless you think a certain way, you vote a certain way, you speak a certain way, you do certain things. My whole life. It is Black Voices for Trump and their statement. I'm just going to read the first couple of sentences. White liberal elitists have continuously dictated which black Americans are allowed to come to the table and have a voice. It is clear now more than ever, following these racist and dehumanizing remarks, that Joe Biden believes black men and women are incapable of being independent or free-thinking. He truly believes that a 77-year-old white man should dictate how black people should behave.
Democrats are scrambling to normalize the damage as their schizophrenic ideology clashes within their own ranks.
I've never, ever taken the African American community for granted. I shouldn't have been such a wise guy.
Nothing has changed in America for Black America. And in order for us to vote for Biden, we can't be taken for granted like we always are because we're supposed to be Democrats or because people are afraid of Trump. It's whoever's going to take care of our community. Our vote is not for free. Whoever wants to make a deal, it's business at this point. You know, we can't trust politicians.
The level of hubris it takes for a white man, an old white man, or any white person to even ingest, say that he can determine who is black and who isn't is clearly outlandish. But even in jest, these are the kind of comments that could be problematic. But he clearly knows his audience.
Have had the privilege of working directly with the vice president. Actually, he swore me in as U.S. ambassador to South Africa. I know that he's a conscious, thoughtful person on these issues.
Regardless, everyone knows that Joe Biden doesn't stand a chance. We are all just patiently awaiting what will be the most embarrassing presidential debate in U.S. history.
No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger. And so we have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it.
Ukrainian foreign minister said on Thursday that the United States ambassador did not link financial military assistance to a request for Ukraine to open up an investigation into former vice president and current Democratic president. Can you believe? Like, we need help to beat sleepy Joe Biden? I don't think so.
President Trump has helped create a $75 billion investment into the poorest communities. And now Lindsey Graham and the president are working to bring broadband into those poorest areas. The ability to connect people who today are unconnected for learning, for medicine, and for jobs of the future. What has but Joe Biden done in the last 20 years? And the answer is crickets.
John Bound reporting.
Now it's easier than ever to have Band.video on your iPhone. Simply go to Band.video with your Safari browser. Then you click the share button at the bottom of the screen. When the menu comes up, you simply click Add to Home Screen. It will then ask you to name the app. I suggest Band.video. You will now have Band.video app on your home screen, despite the fact that Tim Cook tried to stop it. The globalists think you're lazy, but by taking a little bit of action, you can override them, have the app, and then tell others about it so they can get the app. So it's up to you whether you want to defy big tech and click the share buttons below on your email, on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, however you want. Be sure and share Band.video.
Cognitive dissonance is a major issue amongst the left. It can be very stressful dealing with facts you refuse to accept. If you have a family member suffering from this degenerative mental condition, buy them a bottle of Ultimate Fish Oil from InfoWarsStore.com. Studies have suggested that fish oils and fish oil supplementation can slightly lower blood pressure, decrease triglyceride levels, decrease the growth rate of plaque, and provide a soothing reduction in inflammatory responses in joints and the digestive system. Recent studies have suggested that high EPA and DHA fish oil can stimulate immune function by increasing the concentration and activity of immune cells. Get your Ultimate Fish Oil today.
There's a reason the globalists are fighting so hard to shut us down. They know the spirit of 1776, the spirit of the Renaissance, shines brightly from InfoWars. That spirit of fighting evil is growing stronger, not weaker under attack, because your will is strong. And make no mistake, this is a war of wills. InfoWars' main mission is to expose the globalist blueprint, rally humanity, and stop them dead in their tracks. As modern Paul reveres, it's critical for all Americans to do their part in the animating contest of liberty to expose darkness and promote freedom and a pro-human future everywhere we go. The quickening is here. We are now entering the crossroads, and InfoWars is rising to the challenge. InfoWars and our dedicated, committed crew is fighting harder than ever. We live in the most historical times ever seen in the history of our species. Everyone can see it, they can feel it, they can taste it. But now, it's all going to the next level. Evil is rising, and to challenge it, good is rising as well. The fact that you're awake, the fact that you're involved, the fact that you're engaged, even in the smallest way, is giant. It's massive. It's consciousness. Now, as the year 2020 dawns, we must redouble our efforts like never before in the fight to bring down the deep state and defeat the globalist anti-human system. But the only way our information gets out is when you spread it and when you support it by funding our operations, which are your operations, at InfoWarsStore.com.
About a couple of things that you mentioned and unpack some of this, just on the tax front first. And I understand that you want to raise taxes. The question is how quickly you do that in the midst of in the midst of this pandemic and in the midst of trying to get the economy to recover.
Nobody making under $400,000 would have their taxes raised, period. Bingo. Let's get people back to work. Let's get them to work. Now, look, here's the deal.
What about corporations?
Tell me how many people are investing that tax break they had in new jobs. Give me your numbers, man. Come on.